Thank you for joining us. This is TSG. We are your hosts, Dan,
John,
and Jocelyn. Today's match was recorded at Great Escape Games during their store championship on February 6, 2016.
I'm on the left, flying Fat Han and Friends at 100 points with Han Solo in the YT-1300, with Predator, C-3PO, Gunner, Engine Upgrade, and the Millennium Falcon title, along with 2 Talus Squadron pilots, both in Z95s, and 1 Bandit Squadron pilot, and also in a Z95.
And Joe Harney is on the right with Imperial Aces at 100 points and the initiative, flying Whisper in the TIE Phantom with Veteran Instincts, Fire Control Systems, Tacticians, Advanced Cloaking device, also with Sunterfeld in the TIE Interceptor with Push the Limits, Royal TIE Guard, Auto Thrusters, and Stealth device, and a Tempest Squad in the TIE Advance with Stealth device, the TIE Title, and Accuracy Corrector.
Alright, Dan. So it's been a while since we've actually seen Fat Han in this meta. What made you want to play him?
Honestly, I really like Talus Squadron pilots. They're one of my favorite ships, and what goes good with a Tala besides Fat Han? I mean, Paul Heaver can do it. Why can't I? No, in all seriousness, I feel that Han Solo, big ships in general, while they're not really in favor of the meta right now, they're still extremely effective, even if they're worth half points if they're half dead. Like, the amount of pressure that Han Solo puts on the board by himself is insane. And just being able to, make your opponent try to kill that along with, whatever wingman I choose to fly, it's really strong.
Alright, that's fair. Looks like you guys got into it really quickly.
Yeah.
Shots already, oh my god.
Yeah, Joe was
getting
really aggressive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Tons of evades. So, going into this matchup, what are your thoughts? What's your game plan? What are you thinking of?
I'm trying to get with the Z95s. They make really good blockers. I'm trying to basically just try to get them in the middle of the fight, gum up the works, so Han could come in from the back and just put his huge amount of damage down. But I was not expecting Joe to fly so aggressively. I mean, he did like a 5 straight and a 5 straight. Like that's huge. I mean, I could not have seen that. I mean,
wow. That Tempest right in front of me, going past the halfway point.
Yep. And he's assuming that I'm probably going to try to slow boat it here, take his more defensive route against his aggressive first turn. But I say, nope, Z95, get in there.
Just flew right over.
Yep, 4 straight, trying to get in the middle of it. And I feel that Bandit is in great position to gum up the works for Soontir.
Yeah. Bumping Soontir is almost always a dead Soontir.
Yep. So I go ahead and take the focus here because I'm assuming that I'm going to bump Soontir, and so I'm not going to... The target lock would be wasted, and if Whisper comes in from the bottom, I most likely will not get a shot here on Whisper because of barrels and whatnot. I originally did the 4 straight with the Bandit to get him up in the front and try to get the blocks off, and then the 3 straight with both Talas to, get into range 1 of my target, but also be able to take actions and whatnot. So the Tempest did block me here, which was really good for him.
Well, the friends are still in a really good position right now.
Yeah, definitely. Soontir, I believe, does a 2 straight here, but he's just checking if a 3 would make it, or a 4 would make it, but he does the 3, and he gets bumped, which is perfect for me. I mean, that means that Soontir is going to, take a lot of shots. He's got 2 bandits, and possibly Han coming up from the back end.
Bump Soontir, no tokens.
Well, considering that the Tempest went straight past another 5, thinking that you would slow boat it, I am assuming that his
Soontir also did, yes.
Yeah,
and that's why he got bumped there, because he was not expecting me to go that aggressive with my Zs. So there's also a very interesting thing that happens just in general with 9 pilot skills, and this is part of the reason why people tend to take VI on Han over Predator. When you're fighting against the Whisper at 9, if they have the initiative, they shoot first and they get Cloak with the advanced cloaking device. And that can be very, very hard to push damage through. And Joe correctly decided to keep the initiative this game which is going to make it really hard, not impossible, because I've got Predator and Han Solo's ability, as well as Gunner.
Exactly.
I have so many chances to just get the perfect roll, and I have to make him roll well at least twice.
Also, since you're moving after him, you had the possibility of arc dodging him and just turret him.
Yep, and so he's taking a shot at one of my Talas here, at this bandit, the one in front, with Whisper. Gets hit it crit, and I roll 2 evades, which is perfect. I only took 1 shield. So now I'm checking with Han, or checking for Soontir. It looks like it's a range 2, which is both good. Good for me, not as good for Joe, because Joe doesn't get auto thrusters this round, which is fine.
And you 3PO for 0?
Nice.
Yep. Take 1 shield.
Now, John, if you were in Joe's position right here, what would your game plan would be?
You mean for the next turn?
In general, like, who would you try to shoot down? Would you try to take out the Talos first, or just go for Han, or just shoot whatever's in front of you?
So I've learned playing against this list, nice rolls.
Yep. So I got the range 2 on the Soontir, got hit, focus, spent the focus for 3 hits, and since he didn't have any actions, he took 2, lost his stealth device, and survived, thankfully. But I got 2 Talos to shoot at him too. So.
Oh, and Soontir lost that stealth device.
Yeah,
Playing against lists like this, especially with Han and 3 Talas, I like taking out the Z95s first, taking out the wingmen, because they can put a lot of hurt with their dice, with their damage. They can do a lot of really good blocking if flown correctly.
And right here, flown correctly and having shots at Soontir. Granted that your dice is going 50-50, so it's about average.
Yeah.
You know.
I had target lock with the number 1 Talos squad, so, but yeah, I mean, this is about as well as I can expect it. He gets the range 1 with the accuracy corrected Tempest squads for 2 hits, and he actually accuracy corrects it to 2 hits again, but, it's all good.
Yeah.
Since you got it, you might as well use it, you know?
Yeah.
It's also harder to take out Han just because of the 3PO and how much health he has in general. That's why I also like taking out the wingman first.
Yeah. And, like, Han has 3 shields gone, and you still have more shields, more health than Joe's entire list right now.
Very true.
Yeah.
And that being said, I do have 1 agility, so focus firing Han doesn't really last that long, but for the most part, I like the idea of killing from my position. If I don't have the Talas or any wingmen to go with Han, it makes my game a lot harder, just because I don't have the bumping. I don't have the utility that comes with these 3 other ships, and that's part of the reason why I like running the 3Z's version over, like, let's say Han and Poe, or Han and another Rebel Ace, is because I like having more bodies on the board. Right. From my experience, most of the time, if they decide to kill the wingman of Han's and then just focus Han, even with the 3Z's, I end up normally having 1 left over, which is a perfect amount to be able to still block, to still put some damage out, and it sticks around way longer than it should. All right, so Bandit's doing it too hard here, trying to come around. I know Soontir is going to, hightail it out of here. I'm just trying to get a nice shot either on Whisper, depending on if he decloaked to the right, which I was partly expecting, but decloaking to the left was definitely better there, because depending on where Han goes. This was just playing around him being creative and going towards the right with Whisper.
So are you trying to oh, okay. It just looks like you're just trying to point all your guns towards Whisper to cover up wherever he may go.
Exactly. I feel that against this list, the correct target is 90% of the time is Whisper, because Whisper puts out far more damage, especially the way Joe has it built with the fire control system. It does far more damage than Soontir, far more consistent damage than Soontir can do.
Oh yes.
But the reason why I went for Soontir so heavily last turn is because it was tokenless Soontir. If I was able to just pop Soontir that turn, me committing so much to Soontir would have been incredibly huge for my in my advantage. But now I have to still deal with Soontir. I still have to deal with the Tempest, and I have to also fight a Whisper.
Yes.
But we've
so
got
there you
Soontir
go.
5 straight, as I thought.
Boosting up.
Boosting.
And probably, I mean, there's no way Han is going to be in front of Soontir. So he's probably, he just tokens here, takes the evade action.
Right.
Because it's a pilot ability, he gets the focus. Yep. He brought two evade tokens, but so we just swapped it out for evade focus.
Right.
All right.
In that case, yeah, having 2 evade tokens is better than having an evade focus.
Yep. And here I playing around both decloak directions with Whisper. I get the bump off with the Z95 and.
Ooh.
So this, but because he bumped the Z95 and not Han, the Whisper's gonna attack.
Whisper
first.
still gets a shot, gets the cloak, and then I get to shoot with my pilot skill 9, which is incredibly
man.
huge for Joe.
Yeah.
Right. Those 2 extra dice, that focus, assuming he hits.
I mean, it's against Han. There's no way he's not going to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's one way, and that's if he rolls 1 hit.
And
And he just 3PO.
Yep. But yeah, so I'm thinking about my action here.
And also, would this be range 2 and Tactician would fire off?
This is exactly range 2. But I forgot about the Tactician in this spot.
Right.
That being said, there's no way I could have maneuvered. I couldn't boost out. I couldn't get out of arc. Or, into a position where...
It wouldn't
Yeah,
trigger.
I would always get stressed here. So he gets the FCS trigger. I say 0 C-3PO, take 1 more shield. Down to 1 shield, so we're still about 3 HP away from being at half points. So here I'm checking my ranges, and I take my first shot, and I shoot my guns at Soontir. The
Nice.
reason is because if my first attack hits, and my first attack misses, and he has to spend tokens to survive, then my gunner proccing will be able to hit him even easier. That being said, he rolls 3 natural evades, and I get kind of flustered. Here, and I just shoot at Soontir again, which is probably a huge mistake. I roll well, but there's no way I can do any damage to him. Even with 3 focuses, he just focuses for 3. And here he just spends the evade, takes no damage, which is perfect for Soontir.
Man. But then you have a shot, granted at range 3, with the Tala in the back.
Yep. Or it's really close, and that's why I asked Joe, I'm like, which token do you spend? And he just spends the evade. And I double check, and I believe it is just a hair out of range. So
the only shot is against the Tempest.
Yep, take the Tempest shot and roll 0.
All right.
Dan diced.
Yep, as usual. Anyways, so now he's got a fairly good position with Whisper. That being said, I don't think he can decloak to the left,
No.
so he has to decloak forward.
Well, he could decloak to the left, but it might hit a rock. Oh no! Okay, never mind.
Yep, he wants to decloak to the left.
Yeah.
I don't think he makes it.
No.
He's gonna check because you have to, it just doesn't.
You should.
It barely is
You
on the
should,
rock.
and you have to actually.
Yeah. And then he moves it back up to where the bump is. And so he decloaks forward, which is still fine, because if he does the 1 hard here...
Yeah, then it shouldn't...
1 hard towards the right, gets shots, perfect.
Yep.
And there's really no way I can effectively block the 1 hard here, with the way my Zs are facing.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, Soontir is probably going to be out of the fight this round, as well as...
the
Tempest. The Tempest could easily K-turn here and just throw 2 dice at me.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what the Tempest is designed to do. But he takes it too hard, which is also fine, because if I go towards the top of the map with Han, then the Tempest has that route covered.
Yeah, he'll have a shot.
So we get my Z's going.
No, with your Z number 1 right there facing towards yourself, you could easily just 2 hard, not give Whisper a shot. Han moves 1 forward and has a shot against Whisper.
That's true, but I think the 2 hard actually gets me to a position where if Whisper does a 2 hard, it doesn't bump, right? And
maybe
having Joe,
slight?
The 1 slight will definitely bump. So we see number 2 go over the rock, doesn't take a damage, but it's stressed from the K-turn. But like I was saying, because of Joe's how Joe initially started this game, I was kind of expecting the unexpected from him, because he was flying very aggressive,
Right.
and the one hard after decloak is fairly safe. It's a very safe move. I was expecting him to just try to get up in there and push all the damages he could through, and I go ahead and try the 2 slight.
So for the bump right here.
Gonna bump Han.
So the 2 slight from this angle, it's a little hard to see, but it would land if Whisper wasn't there.
Right, of course.
And so by getting the 2 slight, which is a green maneuver on the Z, if the decloak landed to the left, any hard maneuver, the Z would be right in front of Whisper and be able to take a range 1 shot on him.
Right.
That being said, this position is actually fine because the 1 hard will probably bump the Z as well. Yeah. And I can easily fly through it with Han. But I don't remember what my dial was, so I might have been expecting to just the Z to clear and not have to worry about a bump. So I could just be stuck here for this turn.
Oh, he's barrel rolling in with Suntier. No
Yep.
fear of getting hit by Han.
Nope, he's confident in his auto thrusters, and here he can just
Evade, took it up.
get a focus,
Yep.
which he does. Very hard to get through that with just 3 attack dice on Han. All right.
Let's see what Whisper does. 1 hard.
1 hard.
Yep.
Okay. Which doesn't make it anywhere.
It just
It goes up
bumps
and bumps.
Han.
No, if I don't remember. Like I said, I don't remember what I did with Han, but this is,
Now with the 1 hard like this, Whisper just goes straight.
yeah. That's what we're talking about here. Is that he's going to be mostly straight, because there's very little turning movement up until you bump Han.
Right.
Right. And I tried to do the 1 slight because I thought the Z would make it, and I didn't. But that being said, I'm not taking a Whisper shot here.
Nope.
And now I get a range, possibly 1 against Suntier, which is really good. I'm out of Arc of the Tempest. So actually, this positioning is really good. I got a range 1 on Whisper. I've got a range 3 from the Z on Whisper. And I've got Han on Suntier. So I'm actually feeling okay at this position.
Now does his Whisper have a shot against? Oh yeah, okay. There we
Against
go.
the Z95,
Yes.
yep. And he rolls
Five
hit, crit. So I have to roll something, or else I'm dead. So I got 1 of 8.
You got something.
Okay.
Yep, so 2 shields and 1 crit.
Let's see what that crit is.
Could be a direct hit.
Yeah, with 7 in them. 7 in there, so.
And we get a console fire. So we're okay here.
It's not a dead Z.
Yep, but he's got stealth. He's got a focus. It's going to be really hard to put any damage onto Whisper.
Actually, I think that Z also has an arc on Sunter as well.
That's very true.
So you could.
Just go for it. Ooh,
Yeah.
this is a good
Oh.
hit.
Yep,
with Han.
Suntier goes ahead. He's
With
thinking about
Suntier.
spending the focus on this attack. 2 hits and a crit.
No, I think he just
decides
has to be
not
defensive.
Yep, I agree.
C3PO for 0.
I roll the evade, so I get 1 evade. I take a shield and a crit.
All right.
So if this is a direct hit, that could be half points on Han, which is one of the main reasons people don't fly him anymore, is because they're worried about the half points mattering a lot. But we got a loose stabilizer, so all my white maneuvers are red, effectively.
You're right.
But then it also has action.
So we're taking the shot on Suntier for 3 hits. He's got to
Not bad.
roll decent. So he rolled auto thrusters, and now he can either spend the evade or the focus and be fine. Triggers my gunner, which is perfect.
And then it's just 1 token against another hit.
Yep.
Yep.
So if I roll decently, I
And
just
then-
Predator, and I get 2 hits. There, I probably should have
Han
Han
Solo.
Soloed instead of the Predator.
Yep.
Oh, that was devastating with 3 natural evades.
Hey, man. I'm not flying the Imperials. Of course, they're going to get some evades sometime. So I think Han Soloing there was actually better. I do take the range 1 against Whisper, who
Alright.
gets 2 evades.
All right.
And then I take the range 3 against Whisper.
With 5 red dice, correct?
I wish 5 red dice would be
Five red
great.
dice.
I'm sorry,
No, it is-
5 green dice for
Yep.
Whisper.
Yeah.
Yep, and I believe it is not through a rock. I'm just checking to see if I have a shot on Suntier, which I don't. It is range 3, which, I mean,
That's
I get
good.
2 hits,
All right. That's good.
and I managed not to do anything.
Wow.
He dodged it twice.
He dodged it 2.5 times,
Yeah.
actually.
He dodged it, went back into it, dodged it again, and kind of like
let it go through his little prongs once. Alright, so now I have to think of where I'm going to go. I have Soontir following me. I have the Tempest Squad following me. I have Whisper probably going to decloak and try to bump me. Or just get behind me, which is where Whisper kind of wants to be.
And then just one heart from there.
Whisper, one hard. The Whisper move.
Yeah.
Yep. That being said, there's no real easy way for me to bump Whisper here. So,
Right.
I mean, I can't land I can't easily land like a 2 slight with the Z. It'd be really close. I could probably land that, but if he does it too hard, it plays around that, which is kind of what he wants to do. He goes ahead and does the barrel with the Tempest, trying to
Get a better position for next turn.
better position or bump me somehow.
Bump the one hard.
I think the rock bumps the one hard really good there.
Yeah.
But it's fine, because if I go straight at all, if I don't go towards the bottom of the map, the Tempest has a shot.
Right.
Yes.
Because with the large base, one straight, the front of my ship actually moves up 3 spaces, so makes it very easy to get large ships in arc.
And here you go. Here comes the bandit. 3 hard.
Yep.
Looks good.
Gonna go ahead and probably take a focus here, because I don't know who I'm gonna be able to shoot, so I'm just gonna take the focus.
2 slights.
2 slight, just to avoid the rock.
Yes.
Right, of course.
It's a green maneuver, avoids the rock.
Relieve that stress.
Yep. And depending, now Whisper has to move first here, as well as Soontir, so they have to play around Han.
Right.
And if they bump Han, then that means at least one of these Z's has a shot here. And he does the 3K, because these are awesome.
Same reasoning to like, just try to hope that Whisper bumps and everything's pointed at him.
Everything is awesome. So this also makes my firing arcs with my Z95 pretty much cover half the board.
Yeah.
Right.
I've got the 2 Z's covering behind Han, and I have the other Z covering if they try to flank and follow Han. So this opens up my options for shooting immensely.
2 slight bump.
Yep.
Yup.
He barely makes it. I mean, he barely misses it.
Yeah.
And he just nudges the edge of Han's base, which is, I couldn't ask for anything better here.
Right.
Like, that means I
Too
have at
fat.
least one Sean with Fat Han. Han needs to be on a diet.
Yep, that one hard.
One hard also bumps.
Man.
That being said, Whisper can still shoot. Most likely will do any amount of damage and get a cloak focus.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think they're actually both out of the Z's arc because of that bump.
I think number 2 has a shot.
Yes.
And possibly number 3, but definitely number 1 is out of arc.
Yep.
On both of those 2.
And then nothing's aimed for Soontir too, so you can't even just take that last hole. Oh no, 2
well,
2 probably got that.
One
Well, there's
does
also
slights.
There's also Han.
yeah.
Han doesn't need to be pointing at anything. I mean, the auto thrusters suck, but he's got to roll perfect twice with no modifications except for auto thrusters. And I'm feeling that my luck hopefully will, get me a little luckier, and so I actually get a ship off the board. Because I feel like at this point in the game, I'm pretty like devastated. I can't put a single damage on anything.
Mm-hmm.
I did 2 damage to Soontir, and that's it. And he's already killed almost half of Han. He's got a Z95 almost off the board. He's got another Z95 at half life. I feel like I'm in a very hard position. And he goes ahead and gets the range 2 with Whisper. Tacticians me. 2 hits. Target locks the other 2.
Yep.
For a third, which is 3 hits. I C3PO for 0 here. I take 1. I take 2, sorry.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, if I C3PO for 1, and I spend the
You
evade.
spend the evade. So only 1 damage.
Yeah,
right?
1 damage.
Not that bad.
But that is half points.
Yeah.
It is half.
And then he gets the range 2 with Soontir. And that's part of the reason why I just C3PO'd for 0. Rather than trying to get greedy and C3POing for 1 and taking nothing. Because I'm already at half points. 1 extra damage is fine.
Yeah.
And then Soontir deals 1 more to me. I'm down to 5 hull on Han. Alright, now it comes the hard question of who I shoot at.
Soontir or Whisper. Soontir's usually a trap, but with no tokens, that's... Ooh, and 3 hits.
And Soontir gets 2 evades and a focus, and that's just enough to kill Soontir.
Nice.
All right.
I mean, not nice. I love Soontir. He's my buddy.
He lasted a turn or 2 too long for me, but, it's...
He definitely.
He did his job.
He
did his
lasts a
job.
turn or 2 against everybody.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's see.
It's
So
like
we're
checking
checking shots.
arcs.
I don't have a shot on 3. I checked to
this
see if
is
we're in range.
close.
I think he's just out.
Yeah, it is definitely just out of range here. So I'm gonna take a shot at the
The Tempest,
Tempest,
of course.
who has stealth device. So it's gonna be at least 4 dice against 2 for my Z, who also has console fire, which I forgot to roll, but I will roll for after the combat. So we've got nothing. So he doesn't. All right, focus for 1.
But
Evades 1.
evade.
Exactly enough. So no damage is dealt there. Gonna take the range 2 here. Hit crit.
Nice.
Ooh, hit
Good
crits.
rolling.
And
Oh.
finally, he spends his focus. Finally put a damage onto Whisper.
Nice.
Wow. All right.
All right, and then we're gonna check number 2. All right, one of them didn't have a shot, so I'm gonna go ahead and do console fire, and he takes the damage. That tile is off the board
Oh.
because it didn't do any of the damage to the Tempest. It's all good. Nothing needs to be changed there.
Yes.
And then, so it was out of arc of 3. It was in arc of 2, and that's the one that did the damage.
Right.
So now I'm feeling a little better without Soontir following me. But Whisper still does a lot of dice.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
stressed here. He can easily just stay at range 2 forever and always keep me stressed.
So in this case, would you try to get into range 1 of Whisper, knowing that, yeah, you'll take 5 dice, but you won't get the stress anymore?
Yeah, if I get into range 1 with Whisper, if I see 3 pro for 0, at least I survive.
Yeah.
Theoretically. That being said, that's probably the best way to do it, but I'm stressed here. And I want to take an evade. I want to get a little bit more survivability off.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to mitigate as much damage, last as many turns as I possibly can. And the decloak bumps one of my Z's. It gets a little messy here, but it's all good. It's all good. We're tired. This is
like 9 at night at least.
yeah. This was the what is it? The 8th round that we've played.
Yeah.
No break.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're
Oh,
we're
God.
both pretty fatigued here.
Actually, this was probably like 10 p.m. at night.
Yeah, this
if I
was
remember
pretty
correctly.
late, but you
Yeah.
know, still good stuff here.
Starting from 10 a.m.
It's been like 12 hours.
Yeah.
Yep. So gonna get
Oh.
the 3 hard.
Oh,
I
yeah.
does not clear
Does
because
not clear, so-
Whisper's on the other edge.
Yep.
I gotta move it all the way up to the end where I'm at. Yep, gets a little messy, like I said.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you play for 12 hours straight.
Yep. And then he moves the template before we get Whisper in there. And then to cover it up, he just cover the camera up. It's all good. No one saw nothing. We're all good. We're all good here. We know what happened. So number 2 is going to also do a 3 hard.
And it does make it.
This time it makes it, but we're doing it by the books, moving both ships. About to move both ships. So we don't mess it up again. All right. So the reason I wanted to do the 3 hard with both, I wasn't expecting Whisper to do the 2 towards the bottom of the map, but looking back on it now, it makes a lot of sense because that's kind of the way of Han's pointing.
Right.
So that would definitely cover a lot of bases, because then he just needs to do a 2 slight, and he's in the middle of everything. But I think, I mean, it's so much easier for me to go towards the top of the map with Han here because there's no rocks in my way.
Yeah.
I can easily do a 1 slight into a boost. But that's what the Tempest is there for, to sort of get in my way.
Yeah.
All right, and then he goes ahead and does a 2 straight.
No
straight.
Whisper move.
I mean,
Well,
if he can't really Whisper move
no.
there because he's faced the
Yeah.
top of the map or the bottom of the map. Yeah. This is perfectly fine. He goes and takes the focus.
Mm-hmm. And you are doing a
One
One
slight.
slight. Going
Yep.
back into range 2.
Getting rid of the stress.
I don't think you can boost that arc here.
Definitely
Probably not.
can't boost out of arc, but I could get into range 3 of Whisper.
Yes.
Ah,
But with two guns shooting at you, and accuracy corrector in one of them, so
Actually,
And
boost-
fire control system.
and fire control system.
right.
But I'm thinking that I possibly can get out of range. But Fat Han's a little too fat.
Ah,
Takes the range 3. That being said, I because of simultaneous fire, if I die here, I'm totally fine with it. I at least get to take 1 more shot back.
Yes.
right.
So I mean, it sucks that if I die here, I die. But I've got
Eesh.
4 hull versus 4 hits. 5 hull versus 4 hits. I can C3PO for 0 and survive. I just have to fight the Tempest.
Ooh,
Now, would you? Yeah. You have to C3PO in this one.
right.
I don't.
Because if you don't C3PO
You
and
live.
roll blank, you live by 1.
You
Because
Exactly.
there's no
by one.
crits.
That being said, then I'm forced to C3PO for at least one from the Tempest Squadron
Right.
To survive, yes.
to survive. Yeah. So either way, I'm probably dead this turn by either if I C3PO now or C3PO later. Either way, it's going to be tough because I never guessed that I'm gonna get the evade, which I do.
Right.
I always assume that I'm just gonna get blanks because that's how rebels are. They have
Yeah.
shields, and that's why they don't have the best agility.
Right. It's
So-
also playing it safe.
So this one right here, you have to call 1.
I call 0.
You
Well,
call 0?
he calls
Oh,
0
you call 0, and then
on
you,
the
you,
whisper.
you
Yes. Then we realize it's range 3, so I just roll the second dice. Even with 2 dice, I still would say 1 there.
Mm.
I would still say 0 because it's really easy to blank with 2.
Yes.
So I want to get at least 1, guaranteed 1. I go in Han Solo my attack back for a hit crit.
Oh, nice.
That's
He's
good.
gets 5 dice.
Eesh.
1 evade, spends the focus
But
to
now-
take 0.
Now you have Gunner attack again, and now he doesn't have any tokens.
Correct. Here I get 2 hits. Predator keeps 2 hits.
All right.
And he gets 2 evades
Oh,
exactly.
man.
Oh man.
Yep.
And
That's how I felt.
then-
Alright, so we're going to check for the Tala. He's going to go ahead and shoot at the accuracy correcting Tempest. Rolls 2 hits.
Nice.
Not bad. 1 evade.
1 evade.
evade.
Spends his token.
Okay.
Right. 'Cause
Two
you
evades.
don't, you don't want to lose that stealth device.
And he doesn't really need that token anyways.
Because he's going to get
fight.
2 hits.
Yes,
Yep.
no
No matter what.
And I get the evade.
Nice.
Han lives 1 more turn.
1.
I'm at 1 hole with Han.
Oh god, that's.
So what are you thinking at this point right here with 1 whole hun?
I'm thinking that I shot Soontir too many times.
Ah.
But honestly, I mean, it's tough. If I can get a lucky shot off on Whisper, I'm still in this game because I feel that 2 Talas a Tal and a Bandit beats Tempest every day, all day. The reason why I can't do it now is because I'm having to deal with Whisper too. If I can trade Han Solo for Whisper at this point in the game, I feel like I'm very confident in my flying and my playstyle that I could definitely easily take this game. That being said, I have to roll really well against Whisper. I have to hope Whisper rolls really bad twice because of the target lock, and yeah, so it's definitely an uphill battle for me here.
So right here he
Decloaks forward.
Close for,
Yes.
of course.
and then tries to get the block with the Tempest right here,
Yeah.
which I don't unless you won hard.
Yeah, the 1 hard still clears it too. I'm sure of that. And so even if he barrel rolled over, he wouldn't be able to block my 1 hard.
But I think your 3 hard evade is probably the best move.
If I had a 3 hard, it
Oh.
would definitely be that would be the best. But I'm only
I must be
too
thinking
hard.
of the 2400.
yeah. No, this is an old piece of garbage.
Yep.
It's not as good as the Outrider. Anyways, yeah. So I'm getting my arcs on here on Whisper. I'm expecting Whisper to do the 1 hard, keep relevant in the fight, as well as still be able to take out Han. So I'm going ahead and get behind the attempting to get behind the Tempest to open up my dial for the next turn. And Joe, as aggressive as he always is, does
Wow.
the 3 hard,
Of course.
which, looking back on it, I should have saw a million miles away, but I did not expect him to go so aggressive with it.
Because he doesn't care for Tactician at this point. He was like, let me just get range 1.
Let's just do 1 damage.
Yeah.
10 dice. I have to blank out in 10 dice for him to survive here.
Ooh.
So 1 slight.
Ooh.
At this point, I'm like, yep, Han's dead this turn. Let's take a focus. I'm going to
Do
die
some
against Whisper,
damage.
but I get the simultaneous fire. I can put some damage onto Whisper.
Oh,
Is it
and
range
range
two?
2?
And I get the
No,
I
no.
get the
Would,
stress.
you wanted to be at range 1, thinking that he's just gonna die anyways.
Right, but I was expecting the 1 slight, or the 1 hard here. So if he did the 1 hard, I could easily boost out of range. And he gets the Whisper, attacks for 3. I'm going over my head. If I 0 here for C-3PO, or I say 1, it doesn't matter, I'm dead, so I C-3PO for 1,000,000, get 0,
All right.
and I'm still dead.
All right, that's fair.
But
But
I get
yeah.
simultaneous fire, he tries to move my ship, and I'm like, nope, I get to shoot you back.
It's That rule is so weird. I found that a lot of players
Don't know it.
Just don't they either forget it or they just don't know about it.
Yep. And now it is a huge part of my strategy.
Yeah.
So I get 2 hits.
3 hits.
3 hits. Yep. And
three
three
evades.
evades.
something
3 natural
exactly
evades.
enough. So I don't even get to strip the token,
Ooh.
and I focus for 3.
Okay, good. So you got double 3 hits in a row.
Yep.
Oof.
And he focuses for 3 evades.
Wow.
That's
Ow.
rough.
And
Those
I
dice.
didn't even realize he had. I didn't even see the second evade because it fell off the board, and I thought I got a damage through. And I was like, yes, my Z's can finish it. Oh, no damage. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's totally fine.
But
It's
now,
not fine.
well, you still have a range 1 with this one right here.
No, it's a range 2.
It's a range 2?
Yeah. But it's 4 evade dice, and I also have another Z that's going to be another 5 evade dice. All right.
It's hard.
And then I spend the focus, 2 hits.
2 evades,
evades.
exactly, again.
Right?
His
Right?
exactsies.
It's so good.
There's something about having exact evades that hurts way more than having like 5 evades. You roll 5 evades, oh yeah, you're gonna dodge anyways. But if you roll
Target
exact,
And I managed to get
Oh.
1 more shield off. Yes!
All
Only have to
right.
put 2 more damage through one Whisper. I've got a Talon a Bandit. This game is in the bag.
Too bad.
cloaks to
Too
the
bad
right.
small ships aren't half points.
It's fine. I don't care about the half points. I can kill Whisper here.
and this is the semifinals. I don't think semifinals care about half points.
No.
Probably not.
4K with the accuracy corrector.
Of course, why not?
He doesn't need actions. He just does 2 damage.
Yeah. That's all the dice and modification you need.
Yep. And so I'm gonna try to get in there. I was playing around Whisper, doing a decloak forward. At this point, I don't know what I was thinking. I should have just went straight because, I mean, where else is Whisper gonna go besides towards the right? But yeah,
And
that was the Whisper move.
the Whisper move.
Successfully arc dodges number 2. All he has to do is kill number 3, and not have to worry about any shots.
But if he's just going for number 2, you should just take that off the board. And
Well, number 2's at full.
Yeah.
And so here's
number
what he's checking. If he can stress 3, he'll take that shot if it's range 2. But it's a
Ooh.
range 1 against number 2, so he's just gonna take this shot on number 2.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's also got an accuracy corrector against
Yes.
it too.
Yep. Definitely.
So, you know, 2
Seems
against
good.
1.
Oh God.
Especially
Oh,
now, 3 hits and or 2 hits and 3 crits. And I evade 2 of them, so I'm alive. I take 2 shields and a crit.
Let's see what that crit is, though.
It is blinded pilot,
Ah!
so I don't even
Wow.
get to shoot.
Wow.
Yep. It's coming up Dan every wait. No, it's not. Yeah, so I don't get to shoot at the Tempest. And I go ahead and shoot before the Tempest. I steal the initiative for this shot against Whisper. And he evades it.
Just like, oh, it's okay.
Yep, and he takes the Tempest.
I wonder what he's gonna roll.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm willing to put my money on 2 hits. And he gets a blank and a crit, turns it to 2 hits. And I blank out.
Ooh, double blank.
Alright, that's a dead. That is a dead Tala.
So it's just the bandit.
Well, if anyone can do it,
It's the bandit.
Bandits are the best. Bandits are the best Z95 if they're flying with other non-bandit Z95s because they always have something to prove. They're like, I'm going to kill this guy. So I always put my money on the bandit here. Because they always, I mean, they're the best.
hey, and this one survived the longest out of everyone.
You know?
That is true.
It's always the bandit. Always the bandit's the last one to die. And if not, then the opponent's doing something wrong.
Or they're doing something right because they killed the bandit first.
Hey man, don't overthink it. It's really simple here. You kill the bandit last. So Mr. Aggressive Bandit, seeing all of his friends die in front of him, decides to go really fast and do a 1 straight. Gets a focus. And Whisper assumes that the bandit's going to go real fast.
Oh.
And successfully arc dodges. That's what I'm telling you, bandits. Never underestimate the bandits. But Whisper does the 1 barrel roll, gets out of arc of the bandit. So, it's just Tempest versus Bandit.
I like this matchup right here.
Yeah, 4 dice versus 2 attacks, 5 health versus 2. Oh, look, he rolled 2 hits.
Oh!
Got the focus, though.
So
Okay,
you're,
you're
one.
at 1. You're at
Yeah, bandit at 1 is still a bandit.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Sunter. Sunter at 1 is still Sunter.
1. And you
1 crit.
Yeah, I got this. No, I don't. All right, let's get this in here. So, obviously, the smart move here would be probably a 1 slight to try to bump both the Tempest and the Whisper, but Joe has initiative, and so I can't 1 slight to bump. But I try to anyways.
Well, at least...
No, 1 straight. I lied, but I bump.
Alright.
At least the Tempest won't attack you this turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's the least of the bandit's worries here. A focused range 1. Yeah, he only rolled 1 hit, but he focuses for 3. Get 1 evade, dies.
Ooh.
We got me killing 35 points, and Joe got 100.
Man, that was brutal for you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a couple points in the game where I should have made different decisions.
Mm-hmm.
The one that really stuck out to me was when Soontir had both tokens, and I decided to shoot at him twice. I could have easily shot at Soontir Fell if I got tokens off of him, then triggered Gunner. Then shooting at Soontir would be a lot easier because he doesn't have his tokens. But because he rolled the 3 natural evades on that attack, he didn't lose any tokens. So I should have most likely gunnered onto Whisper. Because I could have probably landed at least 1 damage onto Whisper, theoretically, with my 3 hits. That being said, Joe's dice were pretty much on point for every single defense roll, except for the one that Soontir died. So it all is just speculation here, but I think some decisions could have been made better on my part. Thanks, Joe, for the match. You flew really well, and it was really tough on me. I look forward to seeing you across the table next time.
Thank you, Great Escape. You guys are amazing.
And as always, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to tune in on Thursday for the finals. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Links are down below. And don't forget,
Fly loose!